Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining me from this beautiful day. Can you believe it's just 2 days to the start of 2026? Amazing. Okay. Yeah, sorry. My Instagram, for the first time, started on its own. I didn't have to check. So I can see that I'm live on Instagram. Yeah, I can see that I'm live on Instagram. I don't need to ask. I don't need to check. So, how is everyone doing? How are you? How was your Christmas celebrations? I believe and I trust that it was good. Spend time with family, possibly. Spend time with friends, whichever one. I don't know which one you did. I spent time with family. Yeah, it was good. It was good. The Christmas celebrations were good for me. I spent time with family and we really had a good time. How was your own Christmas celebrations? Did you travel or did you just spend time with family right where you are? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, let me know in the comment section. Yeah, so welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. I have always been and I will always be your personal guide. I don't just say this is what you should do. I actually go on the journey of growth with you. The things that I teach here, as much as is possible, because of course, sometimes life happens. I try to practice everything that I teach here. Some I've practiced in the past and I've seen that they work. Some, even though I've practiced in the past, I still try and practice as I teach it. So that is why I say I'm your personal guide on the journey of growth. So this is session 137, and today's topic is entering the new year strong. Entering the new year strong. That's sustaining the momentum that we have built up in this month of this December, sustaining it into the new year. So as you join me, please do let me know Facebook if you're here. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're joining me from. Instagram, if you're here, do let me know. Let me know where you are joining me from. And LinkedIn, YouTube, let me know that you're here. So, as is our usual practice, we always do a recap of our previous sessions so that we can see the flow of the sessions, how they connect. In our first session in this month of December, this December, we were looking at habits of vision. And the first session, we looked at reflecting with purpose. And we said that, that is being able to take the lessons from this year, sitting back, looking at identifying patterns, discerning, where we need to make shifts, being able to recognize areas that we have gaps, being able to recognize where we are growing, where we need to grow, and things like that. So we said that reflection gives us clarity. When we sit and reflect, we do receive clarity. Um, and I think our key takeaway from that session was that what you reflect on wisely, you can plan from confidently. So once you're able to sit and reflect on things wisely, you can make plans from that point confidently. You can almost, because you never can have 100% assurance, you never can have 100% certainty, but a good percentage, you can move with confidence into the next um, level, the next place that you need to be in. In session two, we talked about reset and realign. That's letting go of what is holding you back. That is what that session was about. We looked at why it's essential to release before you begin to renew. Yeah, you have reflected and you have seen some things that need to go. You have seen some things that don't quite align with your vision of where you are going. You have seen some things that you've seen some patterns that maybe you shouldn't repeat. So the next thing is reset, realign, let those things go. Let go of unhelpful habits, let go of limiting beliefs, let go of misaligned expectations. Let go of those things, get rid of them. When we align, it's not always addition. When you say you're aligning to maybe your vision, the goals you have for the coming year, for the coming season, it's not always addition. Sometimes it actually is a subtraction. There's some things you need to get rid of, not just things you need to add. There's some things you need to get rid of. So a major takeaway from that session was you cannot move forward while holding on to what was meant for a season. You can't. You truly have to let go of some things so that you can move on to the next season of your life. In session 3, we talked about crafting a vision, that is setting God aligned goals. Now we have reflected, we've reset, we've realigned. Now we need to set the goals. We need to craft this vision, put it together, but we need to make sure it's aligned to our God-given purpose. We have to make sure it's aligned to the reason we're on this earth. We have to make sure that it's aligned to the solution we're trying to provide. We don't just set goals in the air. We don't just craft a vision in the air. It has to be aligned. So we looked at ambition-driven goals and then God-aligned vision. Those are the things that we said. And we said that when you have God-aligned vision, it brings peace, it brings clarity, it brings focus to your life and to whatever it is that you want to do. I'm a little bit distracted, I have to say, but it's fine. It's fine. Session 4. That was session 3. Session 4. Okay, I can see somebody on Facebook, but if you don't introduce yourself, I will not know who you are. That is how I've seen, since I started using this streaming software for Facebook, I can't tell who is there unless the person puts in a comment. I can see a number. Yeah, before I could just like hover over that number and then I will see the names of the people. But these days I really can't. So please say hello so that I'll know who you are and I can recognize you and acknowledge your presence in this session today. Those that will also watch this replay, I appreciate you. I never take it for granted because I know the timing cannot be convenient for everyone. So there's some that they cannot watch live, but they do watch the replay. When I look at my analytics, I see you. I see you. So thank you also for those that watch the replay. And I was talking about session 4. Session 4, we talked about faith-fueled planning. You have done the work, you've reflected, you've reset, you've realigned, you've crafted a vision. Now what is next is for you to begin to build the habits that match this vision, to begin to build those habits that will match the vision that you have for next year, the vision that you have for next week, the vision that you have for next month, for the next 3 months. Is up to you for the next session of your life, the next level of your life, whatever it is that you're trying to look at this time. If it's just for the next week, it's fine. Are you trying to plan for the next month? Excellent. The next quarter, great. For the next year, awesome. But ensure that you build habits that match the vision you have for where you are going. We saw in that session that vision without habits often leads to frustration, because it's like, it looks like things are not working out. even when they are. Even when they are. Now, we agree that faith-filled planning um, makes you includes or encompasses having trust in God, having intentional structure, and daily obedience every day. Um, our key takeaway from that session is that if vision matters, the habits must match that vision. This is why many of us set goals, and before we get to February, we've abandoned everything. We are no longer consistent with the goals that we set because we did not build in the structure, the habits that will help us sustain those goals. And also, we did not craft that goal or that vision to align with purpose. I think I said this before. When your vision, your goals align with purpose, they're easier. They're easier to fulfill. They're easier to achieve because your purpose generally drives you, gives you momentum. So when your vision, your goals align to that purpose, you will always find the momentum, even when naturally it's not there. You will always find it. So today's session, we're going to answer the question. Okay. We're going to answer the question, how do I sustain momentum beyond the excitement, of a new year? How do I sustain the momentum that I have built in this time? I've taken the month of December to reflect. I've taken the month to reset, to realign, to craft a vision. I've done all that. I've set, habits that will help me achieve the things that I want to do. How do I maintain this momentum? How do I sustain it? How do I keep going at this rate? How do I avoid the burnout that usually comes for some people by the middle of January, actually? That, momentum is already reducing. How do I sustain this? Like I said, many people will start off so motivated in January. We are, ready to lose weight. We are ready to live healthier. We are ready to whatever it is that is our goal. We are so ready for it. We make the plans with that passion, to do better than we did in the previous year because we have reviewed and we have seen the areas that we didn't do so well. And we have this passion. But before we get to February, we have lost consistency. We are not able to maintain the passion we started with. So in this session, in few words, I'm going to try and help us be able to move from planning to practicing, to move from vision to consistency, to move from intention to actually having momentum. Okay, so what is momentum? Before I go too far, what is this momentum I'm talking about? And momentum is that sustained, keyword, sustained forward movement. Sustained forward movement that is created by consistent, aligned action over time. So momentum is the sustained forward movement. Sustained is the key word there. Sustained forward movement. And this movement is created by consistent, aligned action over time. Consistent, aligned action over time. So momentum is not hype. Don't get it wrong. It's never hype. It is rhythm. It's being able to have a rhythm of a flow of the things that we do. That is momentum. Then sustaining this momentum can be described as building systems, building habits that will keep you moving forward, even when the motivation is lacking, even when motivation is at a low. Being able to build habits, systems that will keep you moving forward. The aim is to keep moving forward consistently in a sustained manner. And you have to have habits and systems that help you do this. If you don't, honestly, before February, you're done. You're done because the momentum would have fizzled out. That initial motivation would have fizzled out. Okay, so that is definition of terms of the basic things we want to look at today. So let me just quickly give us some points that will help us. The first thing is that we need to know this. It will help us in building the habits that will help us sustain the momentum that we have. The first thing is that sustained progress is not by accident. This thing we're talking about, sustained momentum, it's not accident. It has to be intentional. It has to be built. You have to put in the work to get it going. It's easy to start strong. It's really easy. Once you have done the review and all those things, that is the strong start. It's easy most times. In comparison, when I say it's easy, it's in comparison to sustaining the momentum, to moving forward, consistently. That's the comparison when I say it's easy, not that it's easy on its own. So it's easy to start strong. It really is when you compare to sustaining the progress, but you have to be intentional in sustaining this progress. You have to build the habits, you have to build the systems that will help you continue. Motivation is all emotions. It is all emotions. But the momentum we're talking about is structural, is having systems in place. The habits that you form, that is what will carry you when your feelings begin to fade. Now, I always love to use the example of reading the Bible because it's something that used to be a big deal for me. Reading the Bible every day, every day. Now, every year, and I'm like, oh, I will read the whole Bible. I will read from Genesis to Revelation. By the beginning of the year, good intentions. I want to read the whole Bible. I might even actually start 1st January reading the Bible. But along the line, I will just be tired. More especially when I get to the Deuteronomy, Numbers, the momentum begins to fade. So I had to look for a system. I had to look for a system that will help me ensure that I'm reading my Bible, even when I don't feel like it. The first thing was I subscribe to a Bible reading plan. I have the YouVersion Bible app on my phone. I know some people are against having Bible on your phone and all that. That is a whole different discussion, a whole different conversation, which I'm not ready to have today. But it's on my phone. I have my YouVersion Bible app on my phone. I subscribe to a 1 year through the Bible reading plan. Sorry, I subscribe. These are the things that help me ensure that every day I'm reading my Bible. Any day I miss I feel somehow I have to cover it up the next day. So by subscribing to that reading plan, already I have made intentional steps now to ensure that I'm reading my Bible every day. To make it easier for me, I choose a version of the Bible that has an audio on that YouVersion Bible app. Because I know myself, this might not be for you. I'm telling you my own. I know myself. If I have to wait till I can read, as in read only, I will not. I will miss some days and I will skip it. I am telling you, I know me. I don't know about any other person. I can't speak for any other person. But for me, this is how it is for me. So, to help me, see, these are the habits, these are the systems I've put in place now to ensure that I'm reading my Bible daily. One is install the YouVersion Bible app. Two, subscribe to a 1 year Bible reading plan. That is, cover the Bible in 1 year plan. That's the second system I put in place. Three, I ensure that I use a Bible version that has an audio option. There's an audio option because there are some days, this is me once again, I don't feel like reading. I put the audio that day and I listen. See, now these are the systems, these are the habits that I have put in place to ensure that every day for the whole year, I am reading a portion of the Bible. Some people say they get distracted when they do audio. Sometimes I also get distracted. I can't tell you that 100% of the time I am 100% present while listening to the Bible. But the important thing is that I am listening nonetheless. Even in the distracted moments, there are still moments where I catch something while listening to the Bible. So it's better for me that I have that than I just say, no, I must read it. I mean, once again, know yourself. Know yourself. This is the key thing. Know yourself and know what works for you. So, set up sustained progress has to be intentional. You have to build systems that will help you. I've given us a quick example of a system I built to help me sustain the habit of going through the whole Bible, the entirety of the Bible every year. I've done it for how many years? I don't even know anymore. But every year, I go through. And because I'm using a Bible plan, it doesn't really get boring. It really doesn't, because I'm not reading maybe straight through Old Testament, then New Testament. Was it last year or so? I did a Bible plan that did the Bible um not the way it is in the Bible, but chronologically, the way it followed, the way the things happened in chronological order. So I went through the whole Bible in chronological order. Another time, I actually go through it, Genesis to Revelation, in that order that it is in the Bible. Sometimes there's the plan that I'm just finishing this year. I don't even know which order it is right now, but the person that prepared that plan, there is no specific, it doesn't start from Genesis to Revelation. It didn't start from the New Testament to the Old, but it has something in the Old, something in the New, something in Psalm, something in Proverbs throughout the whole year. So because it's different, once again, this is what works for me. Because if it's just to read the Bible just like that, straight through every year, maybe by now I wouldn't have sustained it. That is why I needed to have a Bible reading plan to help me. Okay, so this is me. Once again, it might not work for you. Do what works for you, but find a system so that you can sustain your habits. I even for like exercising, living, healthy eating, and all those things, find what works for you. I do walks. Because if I wait till when I go to the gym, I might never. But it's easier for me to just take a walk in the morning, just walk longer, increase from 20 minutes to 30 minutes along the line, from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. But it's easier for me to walk. So, and to make the walk more interesting, more fulfilling, many a times it's during the walk that I listen to my Bible. So I've combined two things to ensure that I'm sustaining two goals that I've set for myself. Okay, so that is the first point I want to make in this, in considering sustaining momentum as we're entering the new year. The second thing, I think I've even talked about it, the momentum is built on rhythms. It's built on rhythms. Just like the examples I gave, rhythms will help keep you steady. Um, like time for reflection, making space to rest, doing consistent review of your goals. They're the example I gave, reading my Bible every day, aligning it with when I go for my walks. Rhythms are what will help you when emotions are beginning to fade or have faded. So momentum is built on rhythm. So establish some rhythm to your goals. Have a system that is almost automatic. In time, it becomes automatic, but when you start, it will not be. But because you have, built it around something, I've given examples here. The next thing I want to point out is what you repeat is what you become. What you repeat is what you become. Um, this is what makes forming habits much easier. You can't form a habit where you can't even call an action a habit unless it is repeated and becomes almost automatic. For some, it's automatic. You don't think about it, you just do it. Okay. So if you really want to build momentum in this season into your life as you're going into the new year, you must have something that is repetitive to help you. I've given examples. Honest, I'm trying to think of another another example. Okay, for example, to ensure that I do this growth habits every single Tuesday, every week. One of the habits that I have built into my week is that I must take one day to read up on what I want to talk about. Now, usually that is Sunday for me. Usually that is Sunday is the day. Because once again, I know myself. If I fix it on any other day, it will be easier for me to skip because things can happen. Sunday is one of the days that I can say, okay, there is no way I won't find 1 hour. There is no way I won't find at least 1 hour throughout Sunday that I can just sit down and review. There's no way. Every other day of the week might not be possible. Some days, things could happen. Even Sunday, yeah, some Sundays things could happen, but it's just rarer for me that a Sunday will be so packed that I can't find 1 hour. Even on the Sundays that, from church, one meeting or the other, from meeting, go and visit one family or the other, even on those days, I still find the time. Because I don't know how else to, but for me, Sunday works. So I built in the preparation into my Sundays. It doesn't mean that there's no Sunday. Maybe things really, really got busy and I wasn't able to truly prepare. I do it on Monday. But generally, I have done it over and over in such a way that how do I it's ringing in my head. I think that's the way I can say this thing. It's ringing in my head on Sunday. You have to prepare. It almost happens automatically. Sometimes I don't even think about it really, honestly. Sometimes I don't even think about, oh, I need to prepare. I just pick up my phone, pick up my laptop, pick up the tablet, whichever one I want to use, and I begin to scroll. I begin to search. I begin to research. It's along the line I realize, oh, you see? So repetition, when you keep repeating something, it becomes almost automatic. So momentum is shaped by repetition. Your daily choices, they compound. When you add a little to your habits, they compound. So tiny, little things that we do, little changes that we make, they add up. But repetition is the key. You have to keep doing it, because it's what you repeat, that is what you become. If you keep reading, you become a reader, an avid reader. So what you repeat is what you become. If you keep um, excusing things you should do and postponing it, you become a procrastinator. So what you repeat is what you become. This is very important in maintaining momentum, in sustaining momentum as we move into the new year, move into the things that we want to do. Small habits. Don't ever overlook the importance or the power of small habits. It must not be, one great massive. Start small. But those small habits, that is what is going to create the long-term direction that you seek. That is what is going to create the momentum that you need to move forward. That is what is going to give you the successes that you're looking for. So start with small habits. Start with small habits and be consistent. Don't do 2 hours of frenzied action once a month when you can do 5 minutes every day. 5 minutes every day gives you more results than 2 hours of frenzied action once in a blue moon. So consistency always outperforms intensity. Always. Always. So what you repeat is what you become. Now, I want to give us a practical framework that we can use to sustain momentum as has become our practice. I try to do a mnemonic, something that will help us remember these steps, something that will help us remember this framework. And for this sustaining of momentum, the mnemonic is PACE, P-A-C-E, P-A-C-E. P, prioritize what matters most. These are the things that you will do that will help you sustain the momentum you have built up till now. To sustain it throughout the year, not just through January, February to the end of next year. Prioritize what matters most. It's not everything that deserves your equal attention. No, it's not everything. So prioritize the things that matter most. Do them first. Give them more attention. Um, Put in more energy into those things, the things that matter most. Anchor your habits to routines. I think I've made this clear by some of the examples I've given. Anchor your habits to routines. Don't just attach new habits. Attach the new habits you want to form. Attach them to existing rhythms. That way, they are easier. Honestly, they are easier. When I started listening to my Bible while I walk, it made it easier for me to ensure that I am going through every day. Unless, even on the days, now this is the thing, even on the days I'm not working, I still have to listen because it has become like, why wouldn't I listen to my Bible? Or why wouldn't I read my Bible? Because some days I listen, some days I read. Remember from the example when I told us the story of it earlier, some days I read, some days I listen. But because I've been doing it over and over, any day I don't, it feels weird. I have to be very honest. It just feels strange. You did not read your Bible today, or you did not listen to your Bible today. By the time this is now, let me not say some days when I notice that at that time I do it. Some days I just wait till the next morning. Then I combine what I should have done the 2 days. I don't like doing that because it becomes too much some days. It's better for me, immediately I notice it, I go ahead and read or listen then. But human being, I am a human being, doesn't always work out like that. But definitely, since I started combining it with my works, it's rare that I miss a day, except the days I didn't go on my walk. You see how this works. So, of course, prioritize what matters most, but anchor your habits to routines. Attach new habits that you're trying to form to an existing rhythm you already have. Some people attach some habits to a new habit, they attach it to when they brush their teeth, because definitely you're going to brush your teeth every morning. It's rare that you woke up in the morning, you don't brush your teeth. So, a new habit you're trying to form, attach it to when you're brushing your teeth. So attach new habits to existing rhythms. Remember, we're looking at how to sustain this momentum, and the mnemonic we're using is PACE, P-A-C-E. P, prioritize what matters most. A, anchor habits to routines. C, check alignment regularly. Assess, assess. Do weekly, monthly reviews. They will help you from drifting, or they will, even when you drift, you notice it and you can, realign quickly. But when you don't do regular reviews, you may have drifted very far before you notice. So check alignment regularly. Check regularly. Fix the times weekly, monthly. Some people do daily. Some people actually do daily reviews, daily assessments. But for me personally, daily is too um, soon. Is that the word? Because I can't sustain a daily review. I can't sustain a daily review, but I can sustain weekly. I can sustain it. So, I mean, it's personal. It's personal to you. Do what works for you. Some people can sustain that daily review, but check alignment regularly. I can't sustain a daily review, so I wouldn't even try it. But weekly, definitely. Monthly, for sure. Quarterly, yes. But ensure that you're checking alignment daily. And then E, extend grace to yourself. Progress is always better than perfection. For me, progress is always better than perfection. So extend yourself some grace. We have looked at 4 things that can help you sustain momentum. 1, prioritize what matters most. 2, anchor your habits to routines. 3, check alignment regularly. And 4, extend grace to yourself. If you can do these 4 things to a large extent, you will be able to sustain momentum throughout the year. Throughout the year. Now, let me ask us, as we have been listening, as we have been, give me 1 second. Oh, okay, I can see, you see, Facebook, they're always doing delayed messages. Welcome, Charity, I can see you. All right, so on Facebook, I see you. All right, so I wanted to ask us some things that we should ponder on, or we should write them down if you can. I love writing things down. So, in assessing my year, in looking at 2025, what habit helped me make progress this year? Think about it. What is the habit that helped you make progress? What habit slowed you down consistently? As you're looking at your 2025, you can see it. Then, what rhythm do I want to ensure that in the coming year I sustain? For me, is this reading of Bible? I know so for some people they'll be like, why is she being so? This is what this is what helps me. I have to say it. This is what helps me. My ability to remain in the word is what helps me in every other thing I'm doing. So that is one rhythm that I must sustain. I must protect it at all costs. I must protect it. What systems can I put in place in this coming year that will help me stay consistent? What systems will I be able to put in place? Can I put in place that will help me remain consistent, especially when motivation begins to wane, when motivation begins to drop? What are the things that I can do? Generally, as we ponder these things, just you can write them down. I can go over it again, but ask yourself these questions. What habit helped me make progress this year? What habit consistently slowed me down? What one rhythm do I want to protect in the new year? Then what system will help me stay consistent, especially when motivation drops? It's you that will answer these questions. I can't answer them for you. I can answer them for myself, but I can't really answer them for you. This is like your review before you step into 2026. 2026 is in 2 days' time. Abi, tomorrow is 31st. The next day is 1st January. So let me tell you Happy New Year in advance because we are already in 2026. Let me suggest, as we begin to round up, as you're reviewing your 2025, as you're looking at the habits that helped you make progress, the ones that slowed you down, the rhythms you want to protect, choose one. I always tell us this, and I'm sure some people wonder, why do I always say choose one? Because when you start with one and you succeed with one, you can now add the second one. But when you pack things, when you say 2 or 3 habits I want to carry into the next year, or it becomes overwhelming at a point. And when you have like 2 or 3 at a time you're working on at each point in time, the possibility of maybe not doing so well is higher. So pick one. Always pick one habit each week. This is how I this is how I function. Each week, pick one habit. Work on that habit that week. By the next week, I can add a second one because generally, if I'm able to sustain this one habit for 1 week, I'm already on a high. There's this high that comes from success. I'm already on a high. I was able to maintain this habit for 1 week. I can more easily add a second one. I can more joyously add a second one because I have succeeded in this one. So always start with one habit. Each week, add a new habit. Pick a new habit. Work on it for that week exclusively, just that one exclusively. By the end of that week, you would have gained some mastery in that habit. You would have gained some. You can now add something else without letting go the one you have mastered. It's not that you now drop the one you have mastered. You're only adding another one to it. But the key thing for me is to keep that habit simple. Don't go crazy. Keep that habit to something that is sustainable and ensure that that habit aligns with your vision. This is what is going to help you carry it through, especially the last one that is aligned with your vision. With this, I believe that in this coming year, we'll be able to move from this, new year, no pressure, able to move from it and we'll begin to make progress, but progress that is aligned with our vision. We'll begin to move from, I need to do more, I need to do more, to I need to do what matters. If we can have this shift in our mind, if we can have this shift in our minds, I believe we will achieve so much more in the coming year. So move from pressure, new year pressure. There is no new year pressure. You can have new habits, new things anytime. It doesn't have to be new year, but make sure you move to having aligned progress, that you're moving forward in alignment to your purpose, to your vision. And then move from all this, I have to do more, I have to do more. You don't have to do more. You have to do more of what matters. Yes, you have to do what matters, not just doing more. If you can have these two mindset shifts, it will change a lot of things. It will make our 2026 a whole lot easier for us. We will be able to achieve much more in this coming year. Don't, get into that frenzy of adding too much. It's not necessary. You don't need to achieve 10 goals. You can actually achieve just one, and it is good and it is okay. Get into the habit of reviewing your progress weekly. Don't wait till the end of the year, then you come and do a review of everything. Doesn't That really does not help you, because if you have drifted, you would have drifted too far. So get into the habit of weekly review of your goals, of your target, to ensure that they are still aligned with vision, to ensure that you're still making progress. Key thing is progress. Progress is always better than perfection, always preferred. So make sure that you are making progress. You don't need a perfect plan, really. You don't. What you need is faithful follow through of that your imperfect plan. You need to be faithful in following it through. You need to be faithful in following it through. That is what will sustain you in 2026. I need us to enter this new year steady, not rushing, not rushed, steady, knowing where you're going and knowing one of my lights went off. Oh, okay, I've seen what happened. Anyway, I think you can still see me. I don't want to bend down and begin to. Let me see if I can. So sorry. It came unplugged. What is it? Does it really make that much difference? I wonder. Oh, now I have to switch it on. I think I'm just going to ignore this light. Um, but see, this is the problem. This is one of my problems. Now that I know that something has to be done, I can't rest until I do it. Give me a second. Yay, we're back. Okay, so I was saying that, what was I saying? Okay, that we should enter the new year steady and not rushed. And that the important thing really is to be aligned. When you're aligned in your vision, you're aligned in your habits, you will not be anxious. Anxiety will begin to disappear. Anxiety never fully goes, but at least it will reduce. And when you're consistent, you will not be pressured. So try and aim for consistency. That way, you will not be pressured. You will not be pressured. In closing, ensure that your habits support your vision, and we only grow when we are aligned. That's the only way we can grow. Once our actions, our habits are not aligned to our vision, we don't grow it. We don't grow. We remain where we are. So ensure that your habits, the things that you're doing, that they align to your vision, they align to your purpose. In that way, you will truly make quick progress, quick and relevant progress. With that, okay, yes, let me just, somebody asked me a question yesterday whether, it's only when you work hard that you can succeed. And I told the person, yes, you can have success without hard work, but you can't have sustained progress without hard work. To sustain that success that you have achieved, you must put in some work. And that work is in aligning your habits, aligning the things that you do, setting up systems that will help you progress and have sustained momentum. Once again, thank you all so much for joining me on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Remember and ensure that you make today and every day count. Be valuable and always grow. Thank you once again. In January, we begin a new topic. I already have the topic, but I'm going to tweak it. That's why I'm not going to announce it. I think I'm going to make some changes to the topics for January. So I will not announce them today, but know that it's going to be something that will help you, help me. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, especially YouTube. Thank you. Finally, I have 100 subscribers on YouTube. It sounds like she's talking about just 100 subscribers. I was stuck at like 20 forever. I was stuck at like 20 subscribers on my YouTube page forever. But I have 100 now. So see, progress over perfection. Progress, it shows we're making progress. People are seeing and people are appreciating what we're doing. So subscribe, tell your friend. If each person that is on Growth Habits Facebook page, Seth, if each person tells one of their friends and they subscribe to that YouTube page, we would cross 1,000 going into the 2,000s just like that. So please tell your friends, even as you subscribe, as you join, subscribe to our YouTube channel, tell your friends. Tell your friends. Unless you're not gaining any value from these sessions. But as long as you're getting even the smallest amount of value, tell someone. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Why I'm proposing the YouTube, because on Facebook, after like a month, they delete the videos. So you cannot watch older sessions on Facebook, but on YouTube, everything is there. You can catch the very first session of Growth Habits up to this very session today. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and do let your friends know. Thank you once again for joining me. Thank you for those that watch the replay. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, and do have a lovely, lovely day. And Happy New Year in advance. By the time you see me next, we are well into January. So Happy New Year. And ensure for those that will go for 31st night crossover service, ensure that you truly crossover. Don't just attend the service and dance and shout and then January 1st, you just continue with life. Ensure that you truly cross over. Ensure that you have habits that will help you sustain whatever goals, whatever things that you want to take into the new year. Ensure that you have habits that will help you sustain those goals, those plans, those visions, and ensure that they are aligned to your purpose. Thank you all once again, and do have a lovely, lovely day.